we don't often hear agriculture and think conservation, but we're going to change that right now. So we're going to join Obed Asofeifa. He is an organic farm manager at Osa Conservation on a journey to and through the conservation nonprofit's regenerative farm. So on the cusp of Costa Rica's ancient rainforest, along with his team, they restore degraded land and grow food in a healthy, sustainable, scalable model. So you're in for a real treat. We're going to see some really special stuff. Let's get that in there. All right.
Hi, Joe. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Nice to see you again.
Yeah, great to see you. Looks like we've got a good connection today.
Yeah, for sure. Today it's not a problem, that connection. And I'm so excited to be here. And like you were saying, like some people maybe is asking why an agronomist is here in this biodiversity fest. But the thing is, like right now, it's important to understand that we have to combine both worlds. Like because like people are part of this biodiversity, and we have to understand that. And also we have to feed the people, but not just feed the people. It's feed the people in a good way, in a sustainable way, or in a regenerative way. Because right here is this like regenerative farm. So I'm going to explain a little bit what it's regenerative farming, and I'm going to show you what it's going on in the field. I'm so excited to have you guys here, and I'm going to show you, well, my work, and it's the best work ever.
All right. Well, we're putting you full screen. The show is yours.
Perfect. Well, hi. Like I was telling you, right now I'm going to start to walk through the farm and show you what it's going on here. Right here, well, we have these like beautiful greenhouses that we use to produce like different greens, just like coriander, cherry tomatoes, and different kind of species. And we have some special crops right here that it's like a really, really a specific thing. I'm going to show you right here. And it is important to have like biodiversity inside of our farm, and that's why, well, we're trying to bring these rare species and trying to save that seeds to share to local people. Right here we have this like really special plant, and this beautiful plant, it's called chile charapita, or red hot chili charapita, or ají charapita, and it's from the Peruvian Amazon. And it's really, really interesting because it's one of the most expensive chiles in the world. It's amazing, and the flavor, it's so nice. In other occasion I can taste it, but it's strong. And right now, well, we are doing like different stuff right here. And well, something really important is, like I was telling you, it's the biodiversity, not just with plants, but also with insects. And that's why, like when we are producing our foods right here, of course, we don't use agrochemicals. And we have like this special technique that I'm going to show you. And here's his darling. He's the field assistant. She's from Earth University as well. And Darlene's going to show you what we are doing right now. So she's putting this liquid that attracts like native bees to these like bottles, and then she cover up that bottle with this newspaper, and then put some plastic, black plastic, to cover up all the bottle. So what we want right here is just like attract all these bees. So in the future, in 2 months, we're going to put them in this like little houses, because we want to put this around the farm so we can attract these bees, and they are going to help us to make the pollination, and of course like having our fresh and delicious food. But one of the most important things that we want to understand about regenerative farming is that it's the soil. The soil is the most important thing in regenerative farming. Why? Well, because the soil, it's alive, and we have to understand that to make decisions, like good decisions. And that's why right here we are producing different kind of things that help us to put life again in the soil. This, for example, right here, there's like a mountain microorganisms, and we are using this to reproduce the microorganisms that we found in the forest. You can see this like white color. Well, over here we have bacteria, fungi, yeasts, and different type of those microorganisms. But they are so beautiful. You can see this. But but the most important thing is not how they look. It's the function that have inside of our soil. So what we are doing here is just like trying to replicate what it's going on in a natural way in the forest, but right here in the farm. So we bring these microorganisms and we combine three main ingredients. We combined this powder that it's like a rice powder, and we put these leaves from the forest. And I'm going to show you the third one later. And we use all these ingredients and we mix it and we put it inside of this bucket. So that's the way we start like reproducing all the microorganisms. And the interesting thing is that good microorganisms can resist environment with oxygen and without oxygen, and the pathogens can't. So the idea is like we are putting these microorganisms and then we put away all the oxygen for 1 month. So we are killing all these microorganisms, pathogens that we don't want in our field. So this is like a really important part. Over here we have different kind of bioferments that we use for different things, but we put fertilization. We make fertilization with bioferments, but also we control pests, fungi, bacteria, and bugs. So we use this to don't use like agrochemicals to kill all the insects. So we are using this, but the base of all like these inputs are microorganisms. So the microorganisms, it's the base of all the things that we are doing right here in Osa Verde Regenerative Farm. And yeah, and the other way that we are controlling bugs, that also it's like really, really important, is that we are using specific plants to do like different special things. And this is the case of this beautiful plant. Like you see over here, like we can see these leaves, and the bugs love this. It's a spinach, and the bugs love this spinach, so they come and start like eating this plant, and they don't eat our main crops. So there's like different ways to produce to control the pests. Also, this little yellow little bucket, we use it because the some flies like the white fly of tomato like loves the yellow color. So we put that and we put some water and soap, so that fly comes and get trapped to that water, so they die over there. So it's really important to control pests as well, but in a sustainable way. That's why we are doing that. And over here, I'm going to show you something beautiful. Right here, we were doing biointense beds. That means that we were making a hole of a half of a meter, and we were putting a lot of organic matter. And over here, what we want to show is that you can produce like different kind of crops in a small place. So right here, we have a lot of crops. You can see it's just like a little forest right here. And like you can see, we have over here, oh, there's iguana. Just look. That's the thing I was talking about, biodiversity. Like we have a lot of things right here. Interesting thing. There's the iguana with the pumpkin, with the squash. And for us, it's really important to conserve, of course, the biodiversity, like you see. And of course, the iguana sometimes eat some of our crops, but well, it's part of the ecosystem. And right here, we have like this like a special crop that calls Mexican sunflower, Titonia diversifolia. And we use this because it generates a lot of biomass that we put again in the soil. This like big plant, it's higher than me, you can see. It have just 2 months, 2 months. So what we want to do is replicate what is happening in the forest. And well, in the forest, like a lot of trees are growing and putting back the leaves. So there's like this organic cycle that it's so important. So that's why we are planting this kind of species that help us to produce a lot of biomass, and we uh, chop it and we put it again in our field. And over here, I really want to show you this, guys. Over here, we have this special corn, and it's really special because, sorry for the camera, because the color. Just give me a second. Just look how crazy is this. We have purple corn right here. Just imagine a tortilla, a purple tortilla. It's incredible. It's so nice. And that's why it's really important to protect the different crops that we have here and keep sharing the seeds, because we are losing agrobiodiversity. And it's so important for the nutrition of people. We need to feed the people with different crops, not just like three or four like the industry it's making, but we need this. We need biodiversity. We need different kind of corns, different kind of cassavas, different kind of products that we can eat and that can provide us from vitamins and well, nutrients in general. And right here, right here we have this like amazing place that we are reproducing different types of cassavas and roots and tubers, and over there we are producing more Mexican sunflowers. So it's like a live seed bank, and the idea is like we want to save all these crops to keep sharing this. And well, it's important to have this kind of banks, but also we have another type of bank that it's just from seeds. So we have a lot of different kind of seeds over there, from chile, from tomato, from different beans, rices, and we are just like saving all that stuff so we can share. And talking about agrobiodiversity, I really want to show you some of our products. Not uh, well, yeah, it's just like a little bit of this like example, but we have over here these amazing crops, products, just like this. This is like a really special one. Oh, look that big. This is like a really special one because it calls achiote, and achiote, just look this beautiful color. It's really, really red, and people used to put color in the food, and it's really, really important from for some indigenous people from the Amazon, because they paint with this like a beautiful crop. They paint their faces, and it's just like a ritual stuff. So it's so important. Well, we have some cherry tomatoes that are delicious. Hmm. Some squash, papayas, and over here, just look this purple jam. It's beautiful. And also we have some coconut water, and we are producing our own kombucha. So over here I have this kombucha that it's a pineapple and basil kombucha, and it's the best thing I never tried, really. And over here also, well, we have this mucuna bean that it's like a really special crop that I'm going to show you um, in the next stage. But like I was telling you, the organic matter is so important for us. So that's why we produce our own compost. And it's so important. Over here, I'm going to show you these big piles of compost that we are producing. And it's so important. It's one of the most important things that we are doing here because, well, in the composting, we are producing also microorganisms, but also we are putting a lot of organic matter that help us to save water, because absorb all the water in the soil, and of course provide of habitat to the old microorganisms that we have in the soil. And right now I'm going to show you something really, really interesting, um, that I told you that, well, there's like a third ingredient to produce microorganisms, but I'm going to show you what is that. Right now there's chonga, Ikenri, and they're working with this uh, like machine that they use to extract all the sugarcane juice. So they extract this sugarcane juice and then they put it in this bucket over here. So we use this, of course, to drink and enjoy the sugarcane juice, but also we use it to put it in our microorganisms. So they can use that like energy. So they start like reproducing themselves. And when we have enough, well, we put it in the field again. But the sugarcane, it's so important in this process. And also, um, well, and also it's delicious. And it's like an important crop right here in Osa Verde regenerative farm also because the value, the cultural value that this crop has. And there's like some lemongrass that we are harvesting as well. It's delicious. And over here, it's like a something really, really interesting. Over here, we have some plantain and some mucuna. That was the bean I was showing you later. And we're combining these two crops because what we want is that this like mucuna, this plant, this beautiful plant, help us to fix nitrogen. So this is just like a bean, and it's like a growing and have like a really large and strong roots that are helping us as well to improve the conditions of the soil. So we are controlling weeds with this because it's so aggressive. So we don't have to start like chopping and making weeding. And also we are putting nitrogen in the soil that it's like a real difficult thing to obtain in organic way. And also, well, we are producing this like delicious plantains. We always like eating these plantains, and this is so useful for us. And the local people love to eat plantains, so it's important to like start replicating different agroecosystems that can provide of information to the local people that they can replicate. And like I was telling you guys, like it's so important to understand that we need to combine conservation and farming, because well, it's the we can make an agroecosystem ecosystem for different animals and insects. This is the case of this beautiful native bees that I'm going to show you right here. Sorry, it's here, and they have like their home right now. You can see these beautiful bees over here, and over there there's our trap. So we are doing this because we want to put all these little bees in that trap over there. So in the future we are going to in 2 months to be exactly, we are going to build all these like wood houses that we are going to put in different places. But when the bees go inside of that bottle, like make their home, so we cut the bottle and we put that bottle, that home inside of this wood box. And it's really, really important for us, well, to conserve all this biodiversity. And right now, well, I'm going to show you another part of the farm that also, well, it's really important. And well, it's like a really, really special crop. uh, and it's really interesting because, well, it grows in agroforestry systems, because this crop need a lot of shade to grow. um, so it's perfect, right? Because we are producing this like a big food forest, and we can include this special crop that I'm going to show you. But first, I want to show you right here this land with mucuna, like I was telling you. Just look, this ocean of mucuna. It's really nice, and we are using this to control all the weeds. So this is the first stage of the regenerative process, because there's like different stages. but the cover crops are the first stage because we are protecting our soil, but also we are improving all the conditions in general of our agroecosystem. And yeah, and we use like different kind of beans, like frijol de palo, that it's like a tree bean. The well in Panama they love it, and we are using also the Mexican sunflower that I show you. And yeah, it's really important to choose like a good species that they can adapt to the conditions of our place, not just from the soil, also for the temperature and the conditions in general. So that first stage is so important for us. And I'm arriving to this like special crop, and I'm going to show you. It's really nice. Maybe you can see just like a lot of shade and trees, but it's not the case. Like right now, we are going to search for this special crop. And right here, there's the crop. We can see this beautiful vine, and there is a plant of vanilla. Yes, vanilla. The vanilla that we eat in cakes, the vanilla that we eat in desserts. So this is the plant, and it's so nice, and it's so important for us because, well, first of all, like I told you, we can put it in food forests, but also it's like a really interesting crop because we have to wait 4 years to harvest for the first time. 4 years, it's a lot of time. But the thing is, like, it's really expensive here in Costa Rica. In some occasions, it that per kilogram costs like $600. That it's a lot. So this $600 is supporting these local people that are growing vanilla to support their families and their lands. And of course, if they support their families, they don't have the necessity to go and make hunting or deforestation to found for money. They just have this like well increase of their economy. So it's a good thing to make conservation as well. And also, well, we are making pollination by hand because, well, we don't have enough pollinators right here. So if we want increase our production, we need to do our pollination. But the difficult thing right here is that the flower just live 1 day. 1 day. So we have to come here and we have to search for flowers all the days and see if we need to make pollination. So it's a hard work for sure, but it's a really special crop. And also, well, just so that you know, I'm doing kombucha with vanilla, and it's the best kombucha I never tried in my life. Well, and right now I'm going to teach you and show you like this other place that Kenry and Shonga are helping us to put some nutrients in this like a model of agro-system model. Um, so it's really nice because like there's like different ways to produce food, right? But there's some special ways that help us um, to produce food, sorry, to produce food in a more like nice way, right? And it's really nice. I'm going to show you this beautiful place. Just look this amazing place. It's like a circular. It's a circle, and it the name of this type of production system production it's mandala. And the things about the mandala is that well it's really good because well we can have different crops and it's closer to each other, so we can control pests, put in for example coriander or basil in the middle of all the different crops. And right now, well, we're starting this mandala. We have a couple of crops, but we what we want to do right here is plant different medicinal plants, but also plant bioinput plants. So over there, like I show you those bioferments. Well, we want to plant all these plants that we need to produce that bioferments right here. So we don't have to go to the forest to search for some species, or we don't have to buy anything, because that's the idea, right? Like we really want to close this um, loop. So we want to produce our own stuff. But you can see, like it's a beautiful place. And well, like I told you, right now, Kenry and Chonga are putting all this material that it's our own compost, and you can see the difference. Oh, look, those bugs. But you can see the difference. Like this have like a lot of organic matter over there, like you can see. But also we are using this technique, this special technique that it's mulching. And well, what we are doing, like I told you, well, it's just like replicating what is going on in the forest, but right here in our garden. And if we go to the forest and we see the soil, well, there's no soil without cover, because over there we have a lot of leaves that are covering and protecting the microorganisms. But what we want to do is replicate that over here. So we go through the farm and we take all this like all branches, and we chop it and we smash it. Over here, we use this material, like you can see, this is wood, to cover up our soil. So when we cover up our soil, we are protecting the microorganism for this like strong sun. And also, well, one of the important things is that we are protecting the percentage of humidity in the soil, because if we don't have that, well, we are going to lose all that humidity and we are going to kill the microorganisms. So we are going to kill our soil. And it's important with just these simple practices. Yeah, it's really simple. But we have to change the way of producing food in these days. We need biodiversity in our crops. We need to protect our soil. And we have to stop to think that producing food is producing just money. It's part of it, yes, for sure, but we have to change the way we are seeing the agriculture and the model that we are using, because it's unsustainable. We have to change that. It's impossible to keep planting just one crop and chopping the forest to plant just one crop. It's crazy. We need to understand that we need this biodiversity, and just look what is going on with this pandemic. Like the pandemic is showing to different countries, like in Latin America and Africa and different parts, that foods, the sovereignty food, it's so important. So we need to start like practicing and encouraging people to make a sustainable agriculture. So we are going to give them the tools to stop doing for hunting or destroying the forest, like searching for resources to feed their family and feed them. And what I want just to finish with this, I want to encourage you guys. I don't know where you are, if you live in the city or in the countryside or whatever, but everyone can make the change. And it's important to understand this. How we can make this change? Well, support local farmers, eat local, try to eat organic farm products, and also you can reduce well, the percentage of meat in your diet, for example, and trying to eat other kind of proteins. And there's like different kind of ways that we can well, do to change this. But the change, it's in our homes, it's in the supermarket when we are going to start like buying some stuff. And yeah, this is the regenerative the Osa Verde regenerative farm tour. I hope that you spend a really good time with me. And of course, if you have some questions, please let me know. And of course, I'm going to answer that. Joe, thanks for this magical space.
Oh, no, thank you. Thanks for taking us to the regenerative farm. Thanks for giving us that great tour. It really is full circle from, you know, using the microbes and the compost to make that beautiful, rich, organic soil, growing those amazing crops and a good biodiversity of the crops, and then back to the soil and do it all again. It's great. Yeah. What a great example of sustainable agriculture right on the edge of the rainforest. Pretty darn cool.
For sure. It's so important.
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned that you have to pollinate the vanilla by hand. Is that because the numbers of bees have declined, or is it because you just have so much vanilla planted?
Yeah, well, that's a really good question. There's like a lot of researchers searching for that answer. But one of like there's like a lot of theories. We have little bees that are making that job, but we think that there's not enough to do all the pollination. So maybe you are going to have two or three plants pollinating in the in the pollination, but we want more, right? So we
Sure.
want to try to pollinate all the vanillas, and so we can increase our production.
Yeah, one day is definitely not enough time. And then
Yeah,
what you're growing at the regenerative farm, does that feed a lot of what you're eating at the biology station? Is that
yeah,
are you
for
eating
sure.
mostly right from the
Well, right here we're doing different kind of stuff, but our main goal, of course, is generate consciousness about the environmental problems and also the relationship between agriculture and environmental problems. But of course, like producing food to the biological station, also it's part of our goals. And we're producing different type of crops, like different spinach, like I show you, like tomatoes, chive, different herbs, and these like people that the team of the kitchen of the biological station are make some magic over there and make these delicious meals with our fresh products. So it's really important for us, like trying to send them like a biodiversity, not just quantity, it's biodiversity, so they can make some experimentations and feed the people with this interesting food that it's like so important. And also, well, we are doing education, like I told you, and also, well, in the future we are developing this farm to table tour that we are going to show the importance of eating fresh, eating good, and eating well in a good way in general to our body and the environment. Yeah, we are so excited. We have a lot of plans right here.
All right, amazing. Well, thank you so much for taking us to the Osa Peninsula. This is our first of 3 trips hanging out with Osa Conservation. What a great project. And it's so important to keep those researchers well fed, keep them happy, right?
For sure. To make conservation, we need to eat. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking
no,
us around. What a tour.
thank you, Joe. Thank you. I really appreciate this space. I hope that all the people it's watching this like enjoy this space. So, see you. And when you want to come here to Osa Conservation in the middle of Costa Rica, please just join us.
Absolutely. Yeah, I want to take that farm to table tour. I'm looking forward to it.
For sure, Joe. See you,
Okay.
Joe.
All right. Have a great
Okay, bye.
afternoon.
You too. Bye.
All right. We'll see ya.